The Malabar Exercise 2022 is underway at Yokosuka, Japan. It began on November 8 and is expected to be completed on November 15. The 2022 edition marks 3 decades of Malabar exercise, which essentially started as an India-US affair in 1992. This time, the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force JMSDF hosted the 4 chiefs of navies from India, Australia, Japan and the US for a meeting commemorating the 30th anniversary of Malabar exercise. Indian Chief of the Naval Staff Admiral R. Harikumar visited Japan to witness the International Fleet Review IFR done by the JMSDF at Yokosuka on 6 November, celebrating the 70th anniversary of the founding of the JMSDF. He also participated in the 18th Western Pacific Naval Symposium at Yokohama. The key objective of Malabar exercise is to enhance interoperability between the 4 navies of India, the US, Japan and Australia, in addition to strengthening mutual understanding on the shared challenges in maritime security operations. This year, the focus of the exercise remained on anti-submarine warfare exercise, anti-air warfare exercise and replenishment at sea. Indian Navy is participating with INS Shivalik, INS Kamota, P-8I and Marcos. It has been argued that participating with India's indigenously built ships presents an opportunity to demonstrate the shipbuilding capabilities of Indian shipyards internationally. Last year, Malabar exercise was conducted in 2 phases. The first phase of the exercise was held in the Philippine Sea in August, and the second phase was from October 12 to 15 in the Bay of Bengal. Following its inception in 1992, the Malabar exercise was suspended for some years. Later, the exercise resumed in 2002 after the September 2001 terrorist attack in the US. Over the decades, the annual naval exercise extended its scope of cooperation. The September 2007 Malabar exercise was of a different dimension since other countries including Singapore, Australia and Japan took part. The 2007 edition of the exercise was conducted off the Japanese island of Okinawa, marking a departure from the earlier editions which confined to the Indian Ocean. However, following China's strong reservations in 2007, Australia withdrew from further participation. But subsequently, with changing geopolitics, Malabar exercise expanded its scope and incorporated Japan as a permanent member in 2015, and later in 2020, Australia also joined the exercise. Drawing from the deep strategic trust in the bilateral relations, New Delhi has concluded logistics agreements with all its Malabar partners, the US, Australia and Japan, which goes a long way in enabling reciprocal usage of logistics facilities and services and helping with the replenishment of fuel, rations and berthing and maintenance of ships and aircraft during port calls, joint exercises and humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations. It contributes in supporting Indian Navy to sustain continual presence in the Indo-Pacific. Beyond the Malabar exercise, India has a strong framework of bilateral naval exercises with each of these countries. India recently concluded the India-Japan Maritime Bilateral Exercise in the east of Okinawa in October with the objective of developing mutual understanding of operational procedures and bolstering interoperability by conducting advanced exercises encompassing the entire spectrum of maritime operations. Earlier in September, Indian Navy was in Darwin to take part in multinational exercise Kakadu 2022 hosted by Royal Australian Navy. These 4 nations are important stakeholders in the Indo-Pacific and have a shared responsibility in securing the important sea lanes for communication and collectively working together in addressing the problems in safeguarding the maritime rules-based order. Moreover, the objective is to reinforce rule of law, freedom of navigation and overflight and peaceful resolution of disputes. Augmenting maritime cooperation between these 4 navies through the Malabar exercise will nurture new opportunities and determine a stable maritime order in this strategic space.